I hope you all are doing well. Welcome, welcome. This is Spirit Journey. Today is beautiful Saturday night, February 26th, 2022, and the time is now 9:08 p.m. Excuse me. Yes, this is actually my second live stream for the day. And I want to talk about some things. Um, Life, only thing I can say right now, wow, life is something else, people. This world, the longer I live, the more questions I have about life. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good evening out there, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever what time zone you're watching from. Welcome. Yes, it's little old me. You're looking at this beautiful skyline of New York City. I hope you can hear me well. Let me know if you can hear me, that the sound is good. Yeah, the longer I live, the more bizarre life is, the more questions I have, the more exciting it gets. Yes, sometimes life could be really puzzling and discouraging, and then other moments, it's really interesting. I want to talk about two things primarily. The first one, I want to talk about a vision that I saw early this morning. Yeah, I didn't even discuss it this morning. I um, I think it was just too bizarre for me to talk about, and I think I wanted to forget. And then I saw a movie. Yeah, I downloaded on iTunes this movie. It came out. There were three series. I mean, there was a series, the Kingsman series, and I watched all three. I just finished watching the last one of the Kingsmen, and that one in particular is what I want to talk about. What it means to me, that particular one. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Yeah, and those of you who hear what I'm talking about, I really appreciate your feedback. Yeah, I mean, life isn't what you think it is. It is so big, and it's so many secrets out there. Life is a secret, full of secrets, and only the privy know. Well, I guess it gets me thinking, who am I really? Or who are you? Who are you? What if you are more than you realize you are? What if you have a secret purpose in life, and in due time it's revelation to you? And I think that's what that movie, The Kingsman, the last one, really had me thinking. But, anyways, I want to talk first about the vision I had. I find that a lot of the things I'm seeing now, the frequencies is, I'm just lifting up the device here so it's close to my mouth. Um, I would say it's just getting more bizarre, and I'm wondering where the source of some of these things that I see in my vision. And I think it's the way that I do my visions, my meditation, I should say, and in the process of having, doing my meditation, I have these visions, as I call them. What are the source of the things that I see is a mystery to me. And I hope one day I get to the bottom of the source of these things. And yeah, I do sleep with my device on. Just letting you know. Yes, sometimes, well, oftentimes, my device, like my iPad is right next to me, and these devices, these electronic devices, emit waves, and they could probably, your mind is a receptor, and it could probably not hijack, but tap into the different frequencies that are emitted during your time of sleep. And I think that's a big part of what's happening. Um, it just has this effect, this negative effect. And it makes you see things that maybe you don't really want to see. It's just kind of intense. And today's vision was, for me, one of those things. I mean, on the surface, very innocent, but it's just, I don't know. um, it lasted for a couple of seconds. I saw an infant, a little infant, newborn, or even in the womb. I'm serious. Because what it looked like, okay, let me describe the infant. Um, it seemed real. It was a baby. Um, the eyes were closed. It was alive, and I think it was squirming a little bit. I don't think it had any clothes on. I just saw like part of the chest and the head. I mean, it was like a zoom in shot, like through a scope, because like it was a circular, and outside of the circle was blackened, so you only see within the circle, and thus you just see the infant. It was a close view, very close, maybe um, seemed almost like 2, 3 inches away from the subject. It had these big bulging eyes. Even though his eyes is closed, but it just seemed very pronounced. Um, the lips were very thin, and with babies, the little gums, little, it had no teeth. But with babies, they had like a ridge on the inside of the gum, on the top portion of the gums. That's where the teeth will sprout out from. Um, and I think the mouth was quivering. The nose, I think the nose was, yeah, it had a broad nose, and it was a dark brown color. And I said to myself when I saw it, I said, I hope nothing happens with this baby. Just something just said, I don't want to see anything negative, please. And then the baby looked like it was started to melt. And then you just see mud, like the earth, like it was raining. You see like droplets of water going on what looks like a muddy surface. And that's all that I saw. But I think um, it disturbed me a little bit because I love babies. I can't. I feel very protective over little babies, and interesting that it was a baby I saw because growing up, um, yeah, I was very sensitive about babies as a teenager. Like if I saw babies crying, um, I'll start to cry. Especially if the baby has large eyes. Forget about it. I am crying. I mean, I was very emotional. I mean, I would be watching TV and I'd start to cry. I mean, I'm with my family and watching, and I just it just gets me crying. I mean, back then, not now. It doesn't affect me the same way, but it was something that I remember, and and I think it's boy babies, boy babies in particular. I remember having a dream. I was a teenager at this time. I could have been 18, and I had a dream that I was being chased by these guys. They were all young black men wearing back in those days like the what they were called the 5%er group. They wore all black and identical outfits, and I was being chased, and I was running away from them in the dream. And then I turned around in case something else happens. Okay. Yeah, but when I turned around to ask them, why are you chasing me? Instead of the young man, it was a young black child, male child, about 5 years of age, crying. And yeah, I forget if its hand was up. I just remember it was he was crying, like whimpering, you know. And then the dream was over. And after that, I never had that dream again of being chased by those guys. Never. But the fact that it was a little boy, when I finally turned around and faced them, because I was tired running all the time. And I said, look, why are you chasing me? The little boy never said anything, and the dream was up. So here that I was like 18 years of age at that time of that dream. And now to have a vision. Yeah, I was doing my what I call my early morning vision. I awakened from a dream. It was a very bizarre dream, but I don't remember it. And then upon awakening, I kept my eyes closed and I just looked through the rear of my eyelids, my closed eyelids, and then I saw the little child. I believe it was a male child. What is this all about? I think it's getting close to home about something. I'm wondering whether this vision of the child is hitting close to home about someone's origin. I wonder. I have no idea what this is about. I never had any children. But I did have a bizarre dream that I had when I was in the, oh yeah, I got out of the military. And I had a dream that get this, I had a dream that I was holding up a little infant, maybe 3, 4 months old infant, And it was a boy, cute little boy, really sweet, sweet little brown baby, adorable, adorable, large brown eyes, full lips, really cute, and this curly fro, really adorable, a little mama's boy. And I looked at the kid. I said, "Where did this kid come from?" And then the next thing in the dream, I was in like a supply room and just like looking and looking, trying to find out where this baby came from. And then the next thing I know, I'm in an operating room and I'm on my back and I'm giving birth to a baby. And it was like a bright light on me. You know, like when those operating rooms, they have a bright light, and it was shining in my eyes. And something came, I wasn't in any pain, but something, I delivered a baby. And then I woke up. But when I woke up, people, this was what really was bizarre. Um, the sensation of pins, like prickly pins, uh, in my pelvic area and birth canal. It felt so real. What happened, like as if what happened in the dream, that almost like a body memory. I felt that it was something real. That like something that I passed something out. And usually when you have a dream, like if a dream seems very real, once you wake up, the sensation of whatever what you went through is gone. But not this one. And this was the only one that was like this, that I ever had something like this. Yeah, it was really bizarre. So those of you who are interpreter of dreams and could maybe sense what might have been. Again, I've never had children, and so I don't know what this is all about. Especially back then. But I always remembered it, and I never forgot that dream. So now, having again, this time, a vision of a little boy. Oh, you know what else? I'm remembering now. This might have been 2 years. It was before COVID. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that name. Before the epidemic, I had a vision. The room looked like my current room that I'm in now, and I saw a young woman, a young black woman, slender, with dreadlocks, and it was like um, twisted upward, or like piled on top of her head, like twisted upward, and then slightly cascading down. She was wearing like what we would call like kind of like earthy clothes, as I call it. And she seemed like like you ever look at someone, they seem like a nice person or something like that. And to me, she seemed like a nice person, soft spirited. And I saw her in the in the vision. Excuse me. This one was the vision. I saw her bent down as if she was to kiss something. And my impression, because how she was, she seemed very motherly. Either was but my impression, again, I didn't see who she was kissing. I got the impression she was kissing someone. Either it was a child, my impression was like a baby, or like a little animal, like a little dog or something like that. That's what my impression was. Yeah, and some of the things in the room, um, it was reminiscent of my room, but it was not the same place because I don't have those type of furnishing. It was like a wicker, oh, what do you call it? Like a divider made out of a wicker material, very nicely done. And then another time I saw someone in the same type of room, and they were like in front of me, and I saw someone. I a Nubian. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just talking about yeah, good evening. Yeah, I was just talking about a vision that I had. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Uh-huh. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah, it's always good to see you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on and saying hello. That means a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was just recounting the vision that I had earlier today. Um, it involved. I saw an infant, and it looked like it was. The baby was in darkness, it seemed like in a dark space, and like I'm seeing it through a scope because like a scope, it's like round, and everything outside of the circle is darkened. You don't see anything, like almost like binoculars. Thank you. I appreciate your encouragement. Thank you. I appreciate those kind words. Thank you so much, Nubian. But yeah, I saw a little infant. It was brown in color, and to me, it looked like it was in the womb in a dark place. Um, it was something, and it looked like it was in this. It was crying. Yeah. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, it's very weird. I think there's some type of significance about babies with me. Babies growing up, something always different about it. Yeah, the vision, it was like I'm there looking at it. I don't know who the baby is, and my impression was that it was a a, a boy baby. It seemed like it could have been a black child. It was a dark brown, and then it started to melt. I know it sounds awful. That's why I didn't really talk about it this morning because I felt embarrassed about it. But upon seeing this movie today, it just had me thinking. I said, I should just share it. Um, and then I saw mud on the ground, um, like it's raining, and I saw the texture of the soil, and I no longer saw the kid. So I don't know what that is all about, but I saw it. Uh, I don't know the significance what a boy baby means, especially in my life. Always very sensitive. As I mentioned earlier in this live stream, I was always very sensitive to little, infants. And as a child, I used to cry if I saw a little baby in distress crying. I mean, like in the movie, on television. And I didn't understand why it affected me so much. And especially if it had large eyes. Um, and then the dream that I mentioned about being chased by these guys. And then when I turned around to challenge them and ask them why you're chasing me, the 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 young men was not around, and it was a little child, and the child was crying. Oh, okay. Okay, I see your thing. So I will email you what I think what that means. Wow, you are. Oh, I don't know what it is. This is really bizarre. But yeah, the little the adults that I mean the men, the young men that were chasing me were no longer men. It was just one person there. When I turned around to challenge them, it was a little boy, maybe 5 years old, about a little kid, crying. I mean, he was like whimpering. And then I woke up from that dream. That was a dream. I had that when I was 18 or 19 years of age. And after that dream, I never had a dream of being chased by those guys anymore. Yeah, so I wonder whether they're connected. The like the dream also had another dream that actually gave birth, and it was a baby boy. And then in that dream, as I've just mentioned, 5 minutes ago, um, the dream began with me having the baby boy in my arms. I mean, I was looking. I mean, I held up the baby in front of me. Beautiful brown skinned baby boy, really cute, with cute little fro. And I said, where did this baby come from? And then the next scene, I was in a supply room looking like trying to figure out where this baby came from. And then see that you notice that it keeps glitching when I say certain words? You saw that? I don't know what's wrong to say what's wrong to say that particular word. Well, anyway, um, at that portion of the dream, I gave birth. And then once the baby came out in the dream, I didn't in the dream when the baby came out. Like these bright lights are shining on my face, so I didn't see the baby. But once I felt the baby come out, and then I woke up. But when I woke up, I felt as if I just gave birth. I had a pins and needle sensation in my uterus and in my birth canal. I never had a baby, never. And it like usually with dreams, when you wake up from a dream and something, a sensation happened to you, the feeling fades away. Whatever, like if you got hurt or fell, you might feel a sensation in the dream, but when you wake up, everything's gone. You don't feel anything. But this never let up. Never let up. So I thought that was really interesting. I never forgot that dream. I believe that all these things somehow are connected. And the actual vision, like the lady with the dreadlocks, she with the baby, one of the people with the holding the baby. Um, I just think everything's somehow connected somehow. Yeah. So that's the vision that I had, and also recounting some of those dreams that I had that might be related. I think they're related. I think these are real. It was a real baby that I saw. I don't know whose baby it is, or what. But it was a real kid I saw crying and looked like a scope, like I was seeing it through a scope. It was round, and it was a zoom in, like it was shining in the baby. The face almost looked distorted because it was so like you ever see um, like when you have like if a woman is pregnant, they get an ultrasound, and you're able to see like some of them are really okay. We're back on. Sorry, see, we're just glitching again. I don't know why it does that. But yeah, so that's what it seemed like. Like I'm looking in like through a scope. Something is, I don't know. Yeah, so anybody who is sensitive, I mean, who knows about dreams, um, if you know of people that had dreams like this or visions like, what is your impression of this? Because this is my spiritual journey, and I don't understand what it means. I don't have children. I never had children. I've never been pregnant. So I don't know, people. Yeah, but the boy babies in particular, everything is a boy baby. So I do like boy babies. I think they're sweet. Oh well. So that's with the vision that I had today regarding the boy child, and it melted, and then I see like the ground, like a mud in the ground, and you see it rain. You see water droplets hit the ground. Okay, let's see. Okay, it says I had a dream years ago when one of my cousins was pregnant. I decided, I described my cousin's baby to a T. He was a boy. Oh, nice. Okay. I don't know what that means. Oh well. I'm not sure who you are. Love face. I don't know what that means. And I don't know who um VUR.FYI. People, if you're gonna make a comment, you know, make it legible, please. I don't understand some of your comments. I don't want to be rude or anything like that. But yeah, so that we could all, each one teach one. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to talk about, people, I want to talk about this movie that I saw. This, I guess, called a trilogy. It had there were three movies in this trilogy. It's the Kingsman series. Kingsman. I saw the third one today, and that's the one in particular I want to talk about. Yeah, it basically is this one. Let's see. Have any of you ever heard of it? Kingsman. It's supposed to take place in Britain, and it started in. Oh no, no, not a trilogy of terror. No, no. But I mean, part of it was gruesome. It wasn't a. I have to say no, but it did have violence in it. It did, but it. Yeah. So I shouldn't say trilogy because that's could be mistaken for terror. Um, but it was like a series. It's like one explains the other movie. They're to be watched, and they all kind of collaborate with each other. It's a British movie, or at least set in Britain. I I found it very very interesting, and I think the reason why I want to talk about that movie, again, I just saw the last one today. I don't know whether it's on Netflix, but I downloaded the movie on iTunes. Kingsman, Kingsmen, and it's three of them. And the third one, the most recent one, was the one I saw today. Yeah, yeah, and it was fantastic. I mean, I'm not a. This one was based on historical events. Um, it involved Europe and the U.S. Um, it first started out in South Africa. So initially, I thought I don't want to see this anything about South Africa, and because it took place during what they call the Boer War in South Africa, and I didn't want to see that. But I forced myself initially to see it. I took a little break. I went to get something to eat. I said, let me just go see it again. So I sat back down, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, that wasn't. I mean, it wasn't. It just started out the movie in that country, but then it progressed, and it actually was about the history of an organization. And that's what I want to talk about. You have organizations, you have people who make an allegiance to each other, they have some type of common ground. These people involved in the movie, um, were of the upper crust. These were the aristocracy in Britain, and it showed how, like, I guess they're they're interested in world events because, see, as an aristocracy, they get the wealth through keeping what they have, and so they are concerned what happens around the world because it could interfere with their wealth. They have access to land. They might have maybe stocks and bonds. The world is connected. And so they take exception if something is going on, they have to know what's going on in the world so they can keep they can keep their power and wealth. And so this particular, like, with the number one, um, the first in the series, it showed a modern day organization. These were m- much of the people in the it was like a oh, let me get my thoughts together. It was like a modern day. You've heard of 007, that series 007 with James Bond. And with James Bond, they always showed him being an older man, like someone in their 30s or 40s or 50s. Well, with this one, imagine that this was like the beginning of an organization, and the people were, because they have to grow into the position. So these were people in their 20s. They looked young to me, very young, but they were supposed to be like, 26 years old or something. And most of them were from Ivy League schools in Britain. But one of the people was he was a troubled guy. He was a young guy, and his father had passed away. He lived with his mom, and he became truant, and what you call a bad kid, a bully. But life had it, and so, I think so, oh, I forgot how it happened now. But I think the the father and this guy made an agreement, and he wanted to keep that agreement. And so he watched the boy grow up at a distance, and when he needed that help, oh, the yeah, the boy was given um, this medallion, and on the medallion had like a number in case he said, "Oh, if you need it, give us a call," and you have to say a particular word so we know it's really you that's using the right phone number, not an imposter. So he gets in trouble as an adult, young adult, and they realize it is him, and so they help him out. And so from then on, they see that the kid, is kind of mischievous, and they give him a proposition. They say, "Look, come join us," and he joins this group, and he gets like the organization built his character, and in the end, he becomes an elite fighting machine. It reminded me of this super soldiers that they would have in American movies, like the Jason Bourne series, if you've heard of it. The Jason Bourne series that worked with the um, a, a special a secretive program within the CIA, according to the movie. Um, yeah, that word, that three-letter word, and it glitched. Okay, see, I have to be careful again. But either way, what I find fascinating though with the British movie, um, it talked about purpose, and it talked about how you can have something from like 100 something years ago, and you have people who like follow certain things, and then they make sure that their will is done. And but what was so interesting about it was that it was just a handful of people. In the beginning, um, it just consisted of three people at that time, three people. And what was fascinating about this organization was that they infiltrated they had people who were like in Britain they have a lot of people who are like maids and maids, butlers, and things like that, nannies. So they used the meek, the people like of that occupation to be serve as spies and get information and then use it for their purpose. But it was a whole network. It was fascinating. So actuality, like the inner circle was just those three people. And the movie then started, the number three movie of the Kingsmen's movie series. Um, the third one started off, as I said, in South Africa, and then it discussed what happened, what caused the World War I. It was, my God, they showed this guy, what they call the Rasputin. He was a monk. I mean, it was so spooky. I was so spooked out by that monk. He played his part to the T. Yeah, I heard about the monk. He was a he had influence over the Russian Tsar, and that was the family. I think yeah, that was the family that got assassinated eventually in real life. They the what do you call it? The royal family of Russia got killed, and but they showed like um, that where the monk lived, the crazy monk, was a part of a separate organization, and that organization was like consisted of maybe 8 people. I think of them like 2 of them were females, and all the rest were guys, and included that monk, that crazy monk, and they set out to infiltrate different it's like they were like the cause of a war. It was really something. They had so much like they were to they were to get a what do you call it? Oh, Ferdinand, some leader of I forget which country he was a leader from. But when that person in real life got killed, murdered by someone, that's what sparked World War I. And so their job, um, they wanted to, oh, what's that now? They wanted, I think, to prevent a war, something, but I mean, they wanted to stop this one thing from happening. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they didn't want the U.S. to join the war. If they did, then they know they will lose. So their thing was to cause a reaction between different rulers. There were 3 different rulers. One ruler was the king of Britain. The other was the king of Russia, and then there was the like a king of Germany. And these guys were actually cousins, and they were all the grandchildren. Get this of what's the name? Queen, not Elizabeth. Oh, what's her name? What's that? Queen Victoria. Yeah, Queen Victoria had a whole slew of kids, and then her children had children, and it's okay. Great, we're on. We're back on. You see that other person in the chat room? If if Nubian is still there, you see those people that I don't think those are real viewers. I think it's what is it, Love Face? I've never seen that person in the chat room before. I think it's one of those what do you call those bots? So, anyways, yeah, I hope you come back on. Yeah, so it's very interesting with these 3 boys. The 3 boys, yeah, I hope you're back on, Nubian. Yeah, it was glitching really bad there. Glitching really bad. I think those bots were interfering with this live stream. But we're back on. Yes. So, what I want to discuss now, um, now this movie. Yeah, I'm remembering now. See, Queen Victoria had a lot of children. I think she had exactly that bingo. Thank you, thank you, Nubian. Thank you. That's what. Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. What's happening now? That's why I felt important to talk about it tonight. I mean, I just finished watching it, and again, it's the Kingsmen. So if you get a chance to see it, yeah, I bought all three of them in the trilogy. The second one I did not like. It was too gruesome. It was just too. They try to make it funny. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, yeah, we're back on. Yeah, the movie, the number two of the series was too bizarre for me to really enjoy. I mean, part of it was good, but it was getting too bizarre. But the third one now, I like the third one. I now, I took the time to get through the first part, and then it made more sense. Yeah, but yeah, the what you hit it on the head, Nubian. That what that movie is about, the number three of the series, Kingsman. I think is what's happening now. You are brilliant, Nubian. You are brilliant. Yes, the number three of the series, I believe, is what's happening now. You have a series of events that are happening now that started, I think, I was going to say it started 2 years ago, but no. I think it started when uh, number 45, okay, I word it like that, number 45, who was around 5 years ago, when he came into office, or start when he said that he wanted to run, number 45. That's when I think it really started. At least the opposition started 5 years ago. And now, so when they couldn't really get rid of him, they 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 botch the election, and then they introduce the pandemic, as I call it, and then yeah, I have my battery here. Let me get it. Oh, my plug is right next door. Yeah, the thing just prompted that it's low battery, so I got to plug it in real quick. Sorry for the interruption. Let me just get it. Yep, I got to get prepared. Let me plug it in now. Let me get it in. Okay, I plugged it in. Oh, okay. So I hope you can hear me. Okay. Okay, so what happened now? Yeah, so then the next part of all this mess, okay, you had the pandemic. You okay? Okay. I was just looking at my doggy. Okay, she's okay. Yeah, so you had that pandemic, and then now you have that convoy in Canada, that thing that's happened in Canada. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You hit on the head. Yeah, you're saying, they have been showing us things in plain sight for years through the movies. Yes, that's also what I'm getting at. That is what I'm getting at, Nubian. That what they're showing It's like predictive programming. They are showing you ahead of time, like with the Kingsmen, like what happened in the past. Like with today's number three, they talk about what happened, what started World War I. Yeah, they showed what actually happened behind the scenes with what started World War I. And then the first series talks about the modern day organization, and then they're recruiting young people, and they use a very traumatic way of training them. That it was really interesting. They used like the upper echelon as students to enroll them, but they have to pass the test. And the test was very, very challenging. But they made a promise with this guy's father when he was a boy, and so he was able to get in. But they go and they have all these trained, and they're using these young people now, like like the Jason Bourne series, but they used a little older in the Jason Bourne series. The people were older, but in essence, it's the same thing. In essence, they get these warriors, these people to work behind the scenes to control the narrative. So I wonder, like in the Kingsman, the number three movie of the series, you had people working behind the scenes. They like one of them was like on top of this mountain, really high up. It was really something. And then and then you had the other organization, and the other organization like they worked in a what do you call it a tailor. They were in business for many years, and they used their tailor as like a means of getting connected with the upper echelon. But they themselves they have their meetings in there. It was really interesting. And I think that again, these movies, these Hollywood films, and a lot of these British films, they like show you what they want to do, and they glamorize it. They like throughout the whole movie, they talked about the importance of being a gentleman and about your love of your country. I mean, they had some good values. Yeah, I need to see that movie. Yeah, go see it. I mean, it's like I mean, it is very has a lot of violence in it, and a lot of fighting. But each one is different. I mean, it's different, but it all kind of it's all about a system, and it's almost reminds me of like with the Bible, like in the book of Revelation, and it's always discussing between good and bad. And so the Kingsman organization supposed to, in my opinion, seem to represent the so-called good half of the world system versus the bad half. And both halves are they both have their powers. And it's just really something. It's really, really something. But like you said, that they present a narrative, and somehow it just seems to come together. And I thought the other important thing about it was that I remember hearing something like you have some organizations that plan 100 years ahead of time what they want to do, and then you have other secret organizations, they say, that try to manage 1,000 years. I could, I mean, that concept, see, that this is also what I want to talk about. How could you have an organization and you say you want to accomplish something in 100 years versus 1,000 and vice versa? You're not going to be living at that time. Why would you be so concerned over what's going to happen 100 years down the line if you won't be alive to experience it or enjoy it? But these people in these secret organization has a obsession. They have such an extreme obsession to create a narrative. And I feel what's happening now, that you have now Ukraine, Russia, and the US, and a potential fight that can happen. Because it said that even though Ukraine is not a member of NATO, that if I heard right, that it may become a member of NATO, and if it becomes a member of NATO, then uh, the U.S. and other nations have to jump in and save Ukraine from Russia. Okay, Nubian is saying the things they are showing through, are already been done. We just see it. Okay, yeah, we see it way after. Yeah, I could see that also. Like, yeah, definitely with Kingsman, that one, like the number three of the series was about World War One, what started World War One, and then the first one is actually about the present, what's happening now, and they utilize young people in that one. Yeah, so it was very interesting. So I think like what's happening now, that they're planning this step by step, and it's core. It's like leading someone down a slope. I mean, 2 years ago, started out in China. They had all these theatrics, and then boom, it comes to the U.S. and other countries. And then you're going to force people to wear that thing on their face. And that in turn frighten people, then you can control them. And like the media was always talking about, oh, if that something about Ukraine. I've never been to Ukraine. I don't know you. I mean, how many people really even know ever heard of that country? And they never explain why Russia invaded Ukraine or why they thought they would. See, I'm not into politics, but what I'm into now at this part of my life is that for the first time, I'm noticing patterns. There are patterns going around the world. Things that may not be related are actually related. That's what that's what I noticed. That is what I'm interested in. Yeah, that was planned as Trump was coming into exactly yes. Yes, that's what I said earlier before the 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 screen went started glitching. Exactly. It started in my opinion when he announced he wanted to get in. That's when it really they used the race card. Yeah, they really relied on that. But they didn't think he was going to win the first time because Hillary was running. Yeah, I was surprised though. I mean, yeah, I mean, if I mean, they evidently they didn't think that he would win because he's an outsider, but he did win. And when he won that first time, then they went full speed, and they did what they did. Okay, you're saying how did Fauci and Obama know in 2009 that it was going to be a bingo? Yeah, interesting. Um, yeah, Fauci, yeah. Oh, wait, wasn't, oh, what's his name? Okay, Fauci, they said, genetics, when or viral, they took the virus of one particular species and then they tweaked it, excuse me, sorry, they tweaked it, and once it got tweaked, they put it into something else to spread it to humans. And that's illegal. That was illegal. And he's really getting away with murder, that guy Fauci. He was also involved with the HIV virus. Yeah, I believe, him, and it's a whole network of people, it looks like. A whole network. I think Hillary was supposed to win and to facilitate, in what I think, was to facilitate something with China, but it fell through. Yeah, he started with I guess it's what do you call it? What do you call it when you um I forget the terminology when you want to eliminate a particular ethnic group. That's what he was doing. They wanted back then to get rid of a lot of people. So they first started with the gay community, and then it spread into the black community. So it was genocide. You notice you don't really hear anything about HIV anymore and AIDS. It didn't stop. Yeah, they're up to something. These people are grisly, grisly. And so my watching that movie Kingsman seemed to be, as you hit it, Nubian, that what's happened in that movie, it's happening now. And now they're really trying to push the agenda with Russia invading Ukraine. It's like they're trying to instigate a war. I'm not into, I mean, I don't really know politics, so I don't know why they attacked Ukraine. See, all that stuff I don't know anything about. But it seems as though that they're relying on certain events to occur, and they're setting up multiple events to cause chaos, such as with Canada, the trucks aren't coming over to deliver the stuff. And then what do you call it? The president of Canada, um, oh no, I'm sorry, OC call a prime minister, well, whatever what he is, the president or the leader of Canada threatened the truckers to do something. I forget what the actual threat was, but you see how everything seems to be interrelated. If you affect somebody's commerce, that's serious. Okay, you're saying, no worries, sis. That network of people are already getting theirs. JAG, the military, has made sure of that. Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything like this in government of all these networks, and they're all interrelated. I'm pretty sure what's happening with Russia and Ukraine was set up at the time it was right at the time with this the convoy in Canada, right? I mean, it's just everything. It's just really amazing how they go about um, doing this. So the movies that these things to happen, everything is it's like they're playing a game of chess. This is all a game to them, and I don't like it. But this reminds me of like this networking and secrecy. Remember about a week or two ago, I shared that I had this vision. There was about five people in a room, or they were about to enter a room, and they were wearing those robes with hoods on. And remember, I said one of them was wearing a red robe, and it was a what do you call it? A lizard person. Remember that? It had like a mouth like an alligator. It was real dark, but that one was wearing the red. And I believe red is a superior color to like in the occult. Like the leader wears red and all the others wear black or some other dark color, but it was the only one wearing red. What if that's the one is calling the shots of what's happening on this planet? Remember some of the YouTubers out there, they talk about the reptilians? Well, this could be them orchestrating different, these meetings. This is really something. This is really something. And I heard the term, what do you call it? There's a term. I forget. It means the 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 phallic of the dragon. But what is a dragon? A dragon is a reptile. And this it was this doctor, and he was yeah, he's a brilliant guy, and he was approached years ago by this secret organization, and he turned them down. And it was this, oh, the Pindar. That's what they call it. It's called the Pindar. and he claimed that he was approached by the Pindar. I'm wondering whether what I saw in that vision was that the Pindar. And the Pindar is a reptile. Yeah, this was maybe I think 13 years ago I saw that. It was a video on YouTube. His name is oh God, what's his name? Oh God, Bill Deagle. Yeah, no Bill. Yeah, Bill or Will. Yeah, Bill. I think Bill Deagle. Yeah, he was interesting. Yeah, I saw him on YouTube many years ago. Yeah, I think it's still on. He has a website. He was a medical doctor, and they had threatened him. And then he claims that he had these friends in high places, so they left him alone. But they came to an agreement, and he left, and they had to pay him some money. It was weird. I was new at discussions like that with the, what do you call it, secret societies and the occult. I didn't know a thing about it. But he talked about what's called the Pindar. And that was before David Icke. It was before my, oh, no, no, no. I heard about David Icke before, but I, I, I didn't really, I heard about it, and then, then I heard this guy talk, but it didn't really click. It didn't really click about the reptilians that what David Icke is known for now talking about. But yeah, he called it a different name, the Pindar. I believe it. I actually now I believe it. But see, I didn't take it seriously back then, 13 years ago or 14 years ago, because it just seemed ridiculous to me. It was absolutely ridiculous. But now seeing how this world is operating now, and then other people are confirming what they're talking about, and then now am I having these visions, and then seeing someone that looks like what I saw in a drawing in his book. Yeah, I have several of David Icke's books, and I remember seeing a, a drawing of this that sorry, come on, I don't know. Okay, we're back on. Sorry about that. See how certain words, again, it does that, it glitches. But yeah, see now what is being discussed is being confirmed by other people. And then now having, visions and actually seeing. I mean, how could I be? I mean, I just thought it was such foolishness. But see now, I don't think it's foolish anymore. I think you have such a network. And see, if these dragons or whatever what you want to call it, I mean, if they really live that long, maybe to them 1,000 years means nothing. So they go on in life and then they infiltrate organizations and then they ask you for money. You notice that? They I can't stand that. I can't stand rich people asking for money. Right? They be doing that. Don't you notice rich people like to ask for money? But yeah, yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at is that you have evil people who are controlling the lives of the masses of people. and what happened in the time of the Bible and what's happening now is just a continuation. It's just a everything's just going on and on because they want to, they have a goal. I mean, I don't know what their goal is now through the, like I speculated in one of my live streams, my recent live stream, that what if the reason for the um, getting that thing in your arm, that what I call bug juice or the Kool-Aid, what if they need to, come on, it was glitching. Come on, come back on. Come on. It's glitching. Do you still hear me? Okay, we're back on now. Sorry about that. It keeps glitching, people. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I'll continue now. So what if what's going on? I mean, this is just a thought. You have you have what do you call it? Like clones or avatars that need bodies. I mean, that need a soul to occupy them. And because this planet got a lot of people, but if you remove those people's life, you remove their life from them, and then you take their souls and you could put it in those other bodies. I'm wondering whether that's what this is all about. Because there's more than enough land. Oh, you think that's right too? You think that's what's going on? That they, what's the use of just getting rid of people? There's plenty of land. It's not uh, a lack. It's a lot of material. And you notice now they're doing that. What do you call it? The Space Force. Oh, okay. Yeah, because you notice now. Remember, under number 45, he implemented the Space Force. So he's saying, okay, we're actually going to go up in space. But what's up in space? They probably want to go to a planet. But they're going to be needing people. What if they already made the avatars, but they need bodies? I mean, they need souls. So they might, I mean, it's just something that I started thinking about. Why such an obsession to get rid of people? They know that these things that they're putting in the person's arm is causing a lot of, you know, people dying. How do they benefit about that? Well, what if they can recycle their souls and have them, what do you call it? What's that name? Like form a colony in another planet, right? If you need people to occupy planets or to what you call terraform the planet, you get the body, but you're going to need it to have souls in it. And I'm wondering whether that's what this is all about. Why are you now going to have a space force? Why would you need a space force? What are you fighting about? So there's something above. There might be, something going on in those other, you know. And remember, I made mention, Nubian, about it could have been 2 years ago. It was before COVID, and I had a vision of these spacecraft I've never saw them these type before. And there were massive number. It was a sea full of them. It was up in space. What it looked like up in space. There were no stars up there though. And you see them moving about. I couldn't believe it. There are things up there in space. It really is. They're up there in space. And if you they're trying to get bodies or get, I mean, just like the transatlantic slave trade, right? You had people, and what happened? There was kidnapping, and they were forced to work a land, right? It's no difference. I think it's just history repeating itself, but in different ways. They want to colonize space. That's why now they're implementing the Space Force. So I feel it's real. I mean, you, if why invest so much money if you can't live in space? They know what they're doing. And I'm sure, okay, we're back on. Yeah, this is really interesting. So they want to get rid of people. And then, there's another organization. I think I told you about this organization, um, the Farsight organization. Farsight is an organization that um, they do remote viewing. And they remote view, like when someone passes away, they said there's a machine, it's like a grid that surrounds the planet, and it zaps people's souls to brainwash them, to zap all the memory away, and then recycle their soul in some other body. See, he's just making. He did that video about 2 years ago, and he's also in his remote viewing has documented the space aliens. So it's really telling what's happening now with these remote viewers and what they're talking about. Have you seen Farsight Institute? They have a YouTube channel, and then they have the website to see when they have uh, a specialty going on, like a full program. Yes, some of their work is really interesting. So they're talking about aliens. They're talking about what else? Yeah, a lot of this stuff now seems to be repeating itself, and that who's working behind the scenes are the space aliens. And they might be the ones that rule in the show. And remember David Icke was saying that these people are reptiles and could shapeshift. See how everything seems to tie in? And that movie, They Live, that came out in the 1980s, what did they talk about? People from outer space, and then they were able to occupy people's bodies, and, shapeshift. They were able to shapeshift and let you think that they're human, and then if those people who had the right vision, they're able to see right through them. What if they're among us? I think that movie was telling the truth, that the movie They Live. He had insider information, and he shared with the public what's really going on. What if those people work in the White House? What if they work in the um, for what do you call it, fraternities and sororities, or those large foundations. And it seems like everything is interconnected. It's a whole network. It is a whole network. And that's what that guy was talking about the Pindar. The Pindar is the phallic of the dragon. And the phallic of the dragon, you ever look at that like in Washington D.C. what the what do you call it? The needle? Isn't the needle also a phallic symbol? And the phallic symbol is the symbol of the Pindar, the dragon. This whole thing is about the worship of the dragon. The Jason Bourne series is all about the MK Ultra thing in creating um, people, killing machines. And then Jason Bourne, when he found out what was happening to him, he broke loose. I'm wondering how pervasive this is. And I'm speculating that it's more pervasive than the movie even talks about. This whole system. There's no reason why things are happening the way it does. This is a rich country, but why do we have people here in the city that act like they're under mind control? Yeah, yeah, like I said, absolutely. They're under control here. It's spooky. It is spooky. That's why I want to leave. I'm not enjoying my stay here. I mean, I love the city. I love city life. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know like the MK Ultra thing is out here in New York on Montauk? I said, "Oh my goodness." That's hitting close to home. It just dawned on me that the MK Ultra thing happened on Long Island. I live on the island, but but in New York City. But it's actually here in New York. Yeah, oh, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, they're just sick. I don't know. I don't know how someone could go through life being evil like that. I just want to relax and enjoy life. I don't know what drives them. If why even make oaths that's 1,000 years in the future if you're not going to be around unless they're doing the clones, that they're taking the souls, they're able to store them and put them on bodies. And maybe that's what this war also is about, that you have people who are fighting to maybe be um, put in the body of an aristocrat. Let's say it's a war on who gets into whose body. I mean, if you have built a society that if you belong to a particular group, you are the group in charge. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be born in a peasant, a pauper. You want to be reincarnated in an affluent person making decisions. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to enjoy life. This is actually a beautiful planet. This is a beautiful place. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to live in a place that you're paying your taxes, and then but just because of what you are, you're not going to be educated a certain way, and my tax dollars is going to somebody else's development. Yeah, you notice now these buildings, they build them like a needle, like the what do you call it? Um, like Cleopatra's needle. They're making the buildings now longer and narrow, longer and narrow. I think that's really giving honor to the Pindar. Yeah, they a bunch of ugly people making an ugly planet. This is actually a very beautiful world, and I think that a long time ago, we got hijacked. People got hijacked, and I think it's sad. I think it's very, very sad. So it'll be very interesting how it pans out with what happens overseas. Yes, they are sick individuals, all right. That exactly. I agree with you there. Yeah, and I think they're going to try to provoke the U.S. in a fight. That's what think was happening next. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't want it. So, peace through love. That's what I want. I want us healthy, happy. I want families together. I want all the good things for us. Who needs all this fighting, people? Who needs it? Yeah. Yeah, pray for protection over the people here. Pray for pray for peace. Yeah. Boy, I can't think of anything else. Yes. Yeah, nothing like good health and happiness. Truly, I believe that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss about people. I think what I said, that everything's pretty much interconnected. So you have a movie that came out recently, the third of a series called Kingsman. It is really interesting to watch in the perspective of that you have an organization and how they perpetuate over the generations to keep an aim, keep their goals alive. And then you have other organizations who are in antithesis of the other organization. And I think that's what life is really about. What's happening now, currently. That particular one, number three of the Kingsmen, is what's happening now. You have in the movie it included Russia, Britain, and Germany, but now they're using Russia, Ukraine, and the U.S. And Biden was involved with Ukraine and Russia. Yep, yep. This is all by design. All by design. They planned this a while ago, I believe. But try not letting it frighten you that you're more important. Yeah, you're more important. And ask for your creator to protect you from the virus, protect you from all harm, protect your families and all that. Yeah. So I'm going to be going, guys. I appreciate this time that we can speak together. I wish you well and peace and harmony in your lives. May you all have a safe night sleeping. Yeah, yeah, they just want to put fear out there. Well, think of, I guess, goodness out there for yourself. So thank you again, people. Always enjoy, yeah, I enjoy this conversation. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thank you for making it so exciting. Each one teach one. And again, yes, for Nubian, if you know about like the dream that I had about the what's that? The boy babies and things like that. Oh, I remember you say you're going to email me something 2 days ago or so. I forget what it was about, but yeah, I have to check my email. If you didn't send it, you can send it to my email. Yeah, my email contact. It's on my about page. If you forgot my yeah. Blessings to you. I love having these lives with you. Yeah, I enjoy the lives with you also. Yeah. So if you have an idea what the significance of the dreams and the vision I had about the babies and all that, and I think you said you're going to email me something. I didn't check my email today, but if it, oh, the map. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. The map. Yeah. I have to check my email. I'll probably check in the morning. But thank you again. And until next time, take care and enjoy the show. Life is a show. Bye bye.